Strange, what is that will make people do?
This is gonna sound outrageous, so I will disclaimer to all of my friends back home that I love you so much and I wouldn't trade you for the world. That being said, there is a really interesting thing that I noticed while I was traveling by myself. I made such meaningful connections while I was away and met so many beautiful people. It's still kind of mysterious to me as to why it clicked so hard and why it was just such a pleasant experience. And I've thought about it a lot, and I've come to a few conclusions as to why it happens the way that it does. But I want to talk a bit about this. When you travel, especially when you're traveling by yourself, you are forced to really be independent, and you get used to it after a while. You know, the kind of independent loneliness where you're walking around by yourself, going into a store, going into a restaurant. Anybody who says hello at that point, you're very open-minded to, because you're so entrapped with details, figuring where to go, figuring out how much to spend, and all these details. And when you walk around and someone asks you a question or says hi, it's like you're so absorbent of their energy, and you want it, and you want that connection. So I think that a huge part to do with making meaningful connections is being so open to taking in somebody's energy and having that exchange. And I think back home where we live, we don't really do that. We're so involved with our own friends and our family and work that when we're walking around in a mall, all we want to do is get in and get out. And for some, get in and stay for hours. But when you do that abroad and someone talks to you, you're so much more open to sitting and talking to random strangers. I can't even explain the amount of times I had dinner with strangers, with 50-year-olds, married couples, with young people. It was just like, as you're eating, you think this is really crazy and really cool at the same time. And I did so many things I would never do back home. If I was walking by the street in a store and someone's like, oh, we're going to grab dinner, want to come? I would never say, yeah, sure, I'll just, come to the restaurant with you. No, I'd say no. But there, it's when you're traveling, it's different. You say, sure, you're so much more open. Perhaps it was because I was being very open-minded to people and just the experiences that were coming my way. That could definitely make a difference. But I can't explain. I really am trying here, because it's definitely a noteworthy point that when you go away, you can expect to forge some really strong relationships. I had the fortune of doing so in 5 of the 7 countries that I visited. So one of which I met in Morocco. And I'm already smiling because that's how incredible this person is. But I lived with a family, a local family, and arms were completely extended to my well-being, and food was made for me, and I was given a warm bed. And I couldn't believe the hospitality that I was receiving from complete strangers. And I made a really strong connection with my friend Faisal. And I feel like, when you meet a person who thinks like you and who just acts in a way that makes sense, that just clicks to you, and you might consider yourself so weird, so you feel like other people just don't get you, but this person does. That's what I found. And I can't even explain. I'm so blessed to have experienced the things that I experienced and to meet the people that I did. And they are permanent family members in my heart, whether I'll see them once a year or never again. I will never forget these these people and the impact that they've made in my life. I still talk to a couple of them every single day. Since I've left that country, I've been in contact every single day, and it's really so great. So I talked a lot just now. I blabbed on way too much, but I do want to say my second point. So the first point was that we're more open-minded when we're away, and we're a bit lonelier because we're so alone, that we welcome anybody, any type of character, anything. That obviously isn't dangerous, but just, you know. The second point is that when you're back home, you don't necessarily see a lot of your friends in every circumstance. Maybe your best friends you do, but you don't see your friends when they're hungry, when they're stressed, when they're out of money, when they've been sleeping in a box for a week. You don't experience a 360-degree angle of every possible scenario. And when you travel and you're backpacking and you meet people, you end up living together because you either met them at your hostel or you end up just traveling together and living in hotels together. And you get to see everything. You get to hear their most inner shared thoughts because they feel safer with you since you're not someone from their country, so they open up more. And you just bond, and you get to see all these angles and really evaluate if this person's cool or not. But back home, we don't get exposure to all those sides. And I think that's the biggest key. I met this girl, Nadine. She's gorgeous. And, you know, initially she was really intimidating because she's a super strong chick. And you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, I just was really warm and she was warm back, and we started talking, and we both shared such personal feelings about our growth and how we feel about everything and everyone. And she said something really incredible that I hope you don't mind that I'm sharing this, that she recalls a few moments in her trip where her eyes would tear up and she would cry just from pure happiness. And that to me is, I connected with that a lot because I experienced similar things. And who else am I going to talk to about these things? Who's going to get what I'm saying? A fellow traveler is. So you can bond really strong in levels that you never have experienced before when you travel. I definitely love every single one of my family members, girlfriends that I call sisters, so much. They can never be replaced, but there's a certain magic about traveling and meeting people that are strangers, and you're sharing a room, a washroom. I can't even explain the things that you experience with these people. And I just want to shout out to everyone that I've ever met on my trip, that I have on my Facebook, on my Instagram, and most importantly that I share such awesome memories with. All of you are amazing, and I'm so lucky to have met such great people. Thank you for making each city that I stayed in so good. Anyways, I'm sorry I blabbed on a lot about this. I will definitely be writing a blog instead so that it's my thoughts are more coherent, organized, and properly understood. I jogged everywhere with my thoughts today. But anyways, let me know what you think. I mean, I don't know if anyone's watching who's traveled previously as well. I would love to hear if you agree or if you've had different experiences, because the more I know, the more, you know, I can help others who are traveling and are scared to do it alone. Okay, thanks for your time. Bye.